Hey guys, welcome in and a very happy, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I'm thinking Tuesday, and I'm thinking we got a couple of real intriguing games in the association tonight, a game 2 from the Garden and a game 1 from the Chase Center. And we got some big, and I mean big names going at it here tonight. We're going to do our best here to see if we can't find couple of plays that we like, hash some of these things out, break it down for you, and we're going to do it with the OG crew. They are back. Feels like it's been a minute here, gentlemen, but Skee Profit back in the house as is. Mr. Tony, Finn, and the one and only Rob Vino ready to roll here. Guys, can't believe it. Game 2 already from the Garden. Your Lakers getting ready to roll here tonight, Skee, which means, man, you're going to have something cooking over at WagerTalk.com in this game. What's going on?
Everything's been going well for me, Joe. And yeah, I am excited to see the Lakers play the Warriors. We'll see which side I like when we talk about it. I do have a bet, for all my subscribers. They are in action already. And there's a couple other things that I'm looking at, thinking about the injury report for one bet. And the other one I've just been thinking about since yesterday. So a lot of ways I feel like to make some money. Lately, the association has been very kind to me. Somewhere around, I had a losing day yesterday, so somewhere around maybe like plus 117 or 116 units the last 38, 39 days. So try to keep that going here and bounce back.
Yeah, listen, bounce back's what it's all about, which is exactly what the Knicks are going to try to do here tonight. I can't wait, Skee. Let me just go on record. It's going to be great when the Heat kick your Lakers' ass in the finals and hold up the trophy. I'm just going to get that out there right now. Let's get it out of the way, Tony Finn. What is going on with you, my man? What's happening? What do you got loaded for tonight?
I have a couple props from the two games on the card tonight, plus one side and the same game parlay, and my baseball will be up directly after this program. So that's what we got going. Looking forward to the summer, guys. Really a little bit of good playoff basketball and baseball with all these beautiful new rules and fast games, right?
Yeah, well, and, Pirates have 20 wins. I bet you didn't have that right about now,
no.
Did you? Talk to me here, Vino. I know Vino didn't have the Pirates winning 20 games by May 1st here, but what's going on, Rob? What is loaded, locked, ready to roll here tonight at WagerTalk.com for you?
There is a 4% best bet up and loaded, Joe, right now, WagerTalk.com. A couple more plays to come. Like Skee, took a look at this injury report. But I think I have everything I'm going to have now. So there'll be 3 additional plays, including one player prop, up and available at WagerTalk.com. NBA as well for me has been pretty good. It's not going to compete with over 100 and however many units Skee's up, but we've been good, profitable 5 of the last 6 days. So the playoffs, when they care to play the game, become a little bit easier of a handicap.
No, they absolutely do. It makes it very, very interesting. Although I'm watching that game last night and I'm going, oh my goodness, it's 1990s basketball all over again. 97 points won a game, gentlemen, in 2023. 97 points. God, that was disgusting. But the good news is we got 2 games here tonight, and I can't wait to go over both of them. We'll start at the Garden, of course, here, where the New York Knicks are going to try not to go in a 2-0 hole here against the Miami Heat. 6 is what we're seeing now. 208 is the total. Still pretty low here, but question marks all over the place. Jimmy Butler, Jalen Brunson, Randall, everybody's hurt. Show me somebody, Skee, who ain't hurt and got a bump or bruise here this time of season. The reality is, I would imagine all 3 guys going to be tough to keep them off the court here tonight. But how are you approaching this game, too?
Yeah, this is the game where I'm really interested in wanting an injury report. I was ready to go and play yesterday and, wanting to get behind back in the Knicks just because of the spot and situation that they're in, back at home after losing that first game as a home favorite. You cannot go on the road down 0-2 in a series. That's pretty much a death sentence. I know they're going to give max effort. That makes me think, that Jalen Brunson should be out there for this squad. I saw he's on the injury report with questionable with the sore ankle, but I just don't want to guess. I want to know that he's for sure in there because he's the most important player on that team for me as far as making a wager on this game. If Julius Randle is out, I'll be just fine. I won't lose any sleep on that one. So only way I really want to look in this game is the Knicks. I would think it starts early. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? We know how good the first half has been to us over the past few years. This year, they've been really good at home in the first half and the first quarter too. So they were dominating game one at the end of 12 minutes. I think they can do that again here in game two, and I think it'll stay that way for the remainder of the full game. So leaning towards the Knicks here, only way I would play. Not mad at anybody who wants to get in on a series price mid-series. Maybe take the Knicks on a +1.5 because this could be one that's competitive, especially if Jimmy Butler is as banged up as I think.
So it's interesting, and shout out to the chat room. John Finley telling us Butler at the shoot around. I would expect nothing less from there. But having said that, here, let's be realistic. The Miami Heat did exactly what they needed to do here, Finn. They won game one. They took home court advantage away from the Knicks. We saw them against Miami, against Milwaukee, do the same thing. Game two wasn't close. If anybody is going to push their stars to play, I would imagine it's the Knicks because they don't want to head to Miami and 3 days rest, by the way, between this game, I think, and when game three is. If anybody is going to throw guys out there, it's got to be Thibs who might not be ready. How are you approaching this one here tonight?
I approach it like this, and I think you did a great job of summarizing the situation. And I think right now it was the Knicks -6. Is that what the number is? That's why I'm showing, right? Right, Joe?
I believe, yes. Yeah, still 6.
Yeah. Okay. When they announce, this is a deal. If they announce that, first off, Brunson's going to play. He's been playing through the same questionable injury, right, for I don't know how long. You said it. If there's a team that's going to be playing through injury, it's going to be the Knicks. They have 3 days off after this game until game 3. And Miami would be the team that wouldn't play through injury, especially because the age difference between a Brunson and a Butler, for instance. But if Butler was to be announced out and he hurt that ankle, I think if anybody's really questionable, I think it's Butler. He'd love to play through. I just don't think Coach Splo would do that to him. And they get to go home for 2 games. They'll take their chances, right? But if he's announced out this game, this line will go to 8, a -8, maybe a -8.5, possibly a 9. I don't know that they give Jimmy 3 points on this, but 6 points is the way to go. You play the 6 points now. If everything's bad and Butler, is doing backflips before the game, and then you can find a way to get off that. Would that being Russian middled, right? But the Knicks -6 of the play, I agree with Skee. The desperate's kind of a tragic and exaggerated and embellished word, but they need to win this game, and that would be with Brunson. That will be with Randle. And Randle shot around before game 1. They say he could have played. He's going to play tonight, so Randle's in. Brunson's in. New York -6, and hope that Butler's out.
Yeah, it's a big hope, though, Vino.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like this is a Tuesday during a regular season where we're trying to guess, well, is he going to play? Is he not? I don't know. What's on first? Who's on second, third base here, Vino? We're talking about game 2 in the second round of a playoffs, and we have no idea who's actually going to be on the court here tonight. It's absolutely mind-blowing. What are you approaching in this game outside of the Knicks in the first half?
Well, let's start with this, Joe. We know who's going to be on the floor today. The Knicks are at home.
We do.
They're down 1-0. They can't go down 2-0, and Scott Foster's your lead official. So the series extender extends this. He's not going to get the Knicks down 0-2, no matter who plays. So knowing that he's on the floor is a little bit helpful if you like the New York Knicks. Let's go back. I mean, there's a lot to talk about in this game. This matchup is kind of crazy. It could be as simple as Knicks need it and, zigzag theory, which has been pretty profound throughout these playoffs so far. But the first half, the Knicks were destroying Miami, especially first quarter, as Skee pointed out. And it was mostly due to the fact that, surprisingly, without Julius Randle, they were great inside the paint on offense. Eric Spoelstra, being the coach that he is, he decided, all right, we're going to take the inside away, and let's see if you can beat us from the perimeter. And what happens is Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, R.J. Barrett, Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel Quickly, the 5 guards or wings on that team, go 3 for 23, shoot 13% from three-point line. I just can't see that happening again. They dared them to shoot it. They shot it. They didn't make them. But I think they'll make a few more than that here. So that puts the Knicks in a better situation. I would like to have Randle on the floor because the way they were dominating the interior in the first half of game one, at least having the threat of Julius Randle down low helps loosen things up even more. So I think that the Knicks are due for a little bit of a bounce back here. If you're looking at team totals, Miami's is 101. Miami's gone 13 straight games now over 101 points. They just turned it around. I think we talked about this a while back that Spoelstra kind of made a concerted effort to get a little more out of the offense, a little more efficiency because the defense just has not been what it's been in years past. I think the fact that they held the Knicks to 101 in the first game, obviously due to the ridiculously bad three-point shooting, but I could see a little bit of a higher scoring game here. It's a game 2 with desperation on the Knicks side. That kind of slows me down a little bit because you would expect defense, and Tom Thibodeau's team has held teams under 101 in 4 of the last 6. But right now, Miami looks like a train that can't be stopped, at least at that number offensively. Knicks team total here, 107. Let's face it, they got to 101 with those 5 guys going 3 for 23 from the three-point line. So you start adding all that stuff up. You start looking at over here a little bit. Again, it's a game 2 home team desperation spot, which slows me down somewhat from making it a really big play. I took a look at R.J. Barrett, too. R.J. Barrett's been really good, guys. PRA, last 5 games of these playoffs, 42, 29, 29, and a pair of 30s. Was successful playing his PRA over 27.5 last game, but it's been cranked up to 30.5 tonight. Now, is that an indication that Julius Randle's not going to be on the floor? Or is that just bookmakers making an adjustment to a guy who's been red hot offensively? I'm not sure. But I think I'm back off the R.J. Barrett deal. So to me, again, I think Miami's just chosen to play higher scoring games. And really quick here, they beat Milwaukee in game 1 of that series. And Milwaukee had this same home desperation thing that the Knicks have here. And Miami still went out and scored 122 on Milwaukee in that game. So I don't know. Right now, they look like a team that's playing really good offense. If the Knicks are going to win, I think they have to outscore them. So maybe over is the way to go here.
Yeah, it does seem to be creeping up a little bit. I did see some 206.5. So it's really starting to come up here a little bit. But I feel like we've been saying forever, if Miami's shooting is going to regress a little bit, this thing is going to be worse than what we watched last night. But just hasn't happened. Not yet anyway, but pretty important game for the Knicks. And maybe, just maybe, they can get a rebound. What do you think? They got a lot of them against Cleveland. They didn't get as many of them in game 1 against this Miami team. So big game here tonight at the Garden for the Heat and the Knicks. There is a really interesting game out west, the late game here tonight with, let's face it, a couple of dudes who know each other pretty well. 22, I believe, was the amount of playoff games Steph Curry and LeBron James have played against one another in their career. That is a shit ton of games there, Skee. And Lakers are now getting 5, it looks like, with that total 227. Not like they don't know one another here, but what do we think when we're getting in the all-important game 1 here tonight at the Chase?
Well, I always say that that the Warriors are really dominant at home, and I do believe that. They've shown that throughout the season, past years in the playoffs, et cetera, et cetera. I just think if they're out for the Lakers to go and still win, it should be in this game 1. with the Warriors coming off of that 7-game series. I mean, they were showing that everybody was tired in Game 6. And you saw it again right there in Game 7. So a short turnaround, only one day. I know they didn't have to travel, but going up against a team who, they were also running on fumes, but they got 3 days rest. I just think that's a big deal and a big advantage for this Lakers team. And just seeing Golden State, I want to say, struggle against the Kings defense that's not even good, like literally bottom 5, bottom 10 all season long. It's not going to be the same kind of deal going up against the Lakers. This Lakers team post All-Star break is a top 5 defensive rated team. Same can be said for in the playoffs. So I just think it's a little bit of a different challenge for Golden State, and I would not be laying the points with them in this first game. So the only way I can look at it is to back the Lakers plus. And as far as the total is concerned, I think I disagree with it coming down. And my reason or my thought process is I just don't know how interested and how much Golden State is going to play defense tonight after that. Like I'm saying, if they're that tired after that series, it's probably not going to be a whole lot of defensive effort. And the Lakers, they have a lot of guys who are capable of putting the ball in the basket. So I see this as more of a game, kind of like how we saw Lakers versus Memphis in Game 1, where the Lakers put up a big number, 120 something, and we get up and over. Probably the more the series goes on, we start to see these coaches make adjustments and the defensive effort pick up. So as of right now, I will be looking at the Lakers and I will be looking at the over.
So it's we certainly know. I believe the number was, and this was pretty crazy here, that Game 1s of in the second round. If you're looking at teams that are -6 or less, those small favorites, 6-16 straight up, 3-18-1 against the number here. So those opening home court, laying 5.5 or 6 with Golden State. The trend tells us, Tony Finn, yeah, just like the Knicks. Yeah, don't know about that.
Yeah, Skee kind of backed off a little bit. I thought he gave the audience the secret to the Lucky Charms leprechaun, and that was what he said was accurate as could be. Look what Golden State did against the best offense in basketball, essentially, right? The Kings held them to under, I think it was 110 points per 100 possessions in non-garbage time per cleaning the glass. Let's give them their due there. And they were defensive. They won that series because they were defensive. How well they played on the road, at home, defensively. Skee again, he said how well this Lakers team had come together defensively. I think the play in this game is under the 227 without question, and it's going to be pretty emotional. It's going to be pretty charged with the matchup that you mentioned, Joe. Obviously, Curry, LeBron, but you can count on Draymond being up and down the court. It's my best bet for tonight is his prop, but he's going to be. He may not be able to go to the rim like he has in some of these playoff games, but as they did at some point in time in the first round. But Davis he's not a true 5. LA is going to spread the offense out. I mean, the Warriors should 40% of their shots come from beyond the 3, right? That should be enough to get Draymond free, clean inside, and I think if he can keep his mouth shut, he'd probably play 40 minutes tonight. It's just a matter of whether he stays in the game, right? But I like the under 227, and I think Skee laid it out perfectly. But then he kind of backed off it.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't shock me if we played an under in this spot here, Vino. Are you sold on I mean, it's been a little while, it feels like, since the Lakers last played a game. Still worry about the consistency of that offense in the Chase Center here. How are you looking at it? Are you looking at totals? Are you leaning sides? What are you thinking?
Yeah, it's a contrast in styles, right? So it's hard to handicap which contrast is going to be the successful one. There's no way on this earth that Golden State wants to play a half-court game against the Lakers, because all the defensive numbers that were brought up by the two guys ahead of me that the Lakers have posted just indicate that you don't want to play them that way. And there's going to be no 21 rebound games out of Kevon Looney against Anthony Davis. That's just not happening. It's not Sabonis. It's not the same. So you expect Golden State to go. They're the fastest tempo team in the NBA. The question for me becomes which team can do what the other does best a little bit better. In other words, can the Lakers hang in a transition game for, it's not going to be 48 minutes of transition, but when it is, can the Lakers hang better or can Golden State hang better in a half court game when it bogs down and becomes you got to run set offense and get a shot? And, the Lakers were a pretty quick paced team themselves, according to possessions per game stats over the course of the season. So even though they now have shown that they like to anchor down a little bit on the defensive side, again, for them, it's not Memphis. Memphis lacks shooters. Golden State doesn't lack shooters. You can play a certain way against Memphis and guarantee in a 7-game series that they are not going to shoot the ball really good 4 out of 7. So it becomes pretty tough here. I think the rest does the Lakers real good. I think if the Lakers have legs for transition, it would be in game 1. I think Skee pointed out that if they're going to steal one, it would be game 1. I think if they're going to run successfully, it would be game 1. You got to get Anthony Davis away from the rim. He's been blocking shots like crazy. So Golden State's going to do some things to try and get that accomplished. Laker team total here, guys, is 111. Seems low to me. I think the Lakers can get more than 111 in a game that I figure in Chase Center will be played at a little bit faster pace because it is Golden State's home floor and because they are so offensively dominant on this floor. I think the Lakers will get a number of opportunities. And I think the foul line comes into play here. No matter who has the whistle in this series, I think that this matchup just breeds itself for foul shots. LeBron can get to the line. AD can get to the line. Steph can get to the line. A lot of these guys can get to the line. So those points add up too. But I think if I were looking specifically at one play for this game, I think Laker team total over 111 would be the way I'd look. And also, let's just, for the heck of it, let's throw some conspiracy theory in there where a series bet is concerned. The networks would love nothing more than a 7-game series here. And for this series to go 7, you can get plus 190, almost 2-1. And it's not even out of the realm of possibility. You could chuck the conspiracy stuff in the garbage. This game could be a 7-game series. Legitimately, the way Golden State plays on the road, the way the Lakers have played overall, the way they match up. So I think plus 190 for a 7-game series is worth the flyer as well.
All right, little futures market there. I mean, so we've got a couple interesting trends. I'll throw them out for these for the guys in the chat room. Star Child in there, Sean Evans in there, Big Daddy in the house. All you guys here. It's a couple of intriguing trends between these teams. Number one, let's just go with LeBron James, who, and Skee knows this. He ain't great in game 1s on the road. 4-14 straight up. LeBron James is. The Warriors, however, 21-4 in game 1 since Steve Kerr took over. Even better at home, 19-2 in home game 1s. LeBron James 0-4 in game 1s against the Warriors. But we also have the trend where, hey, we like to fade teams that had to play a game 7 and win. And in game 1, we tend to kind of think that maybe, just maybe, they're not going to have their best. So a lot of these trends at home in game 1 say Golden State will not be beaten. And LeBron, not great in road game 1. So something is going to give here tonight. It's going to be fantastic to see which one of these trends continues or goes hard left. A lot of guys in the chat looking at first halves, maybe Golden State first half, Lakers late. If I was a conspiracy theorist, Skee, I would probably say, just give me Golden State in the third quarter and we'll call it a game from there. Especially if they're if they're down in the first half going into the third. Are we still looking to back them in the third quarter, you think?
Specifically the third quarter, no. I'm not running to the window to go fade the Dubs in the third quarter. But over the course of 48 minutes, I think that's something the Lakers can get done.
Ooh, look at that. Let it be. Let the record show, Vino. Third quarter bet Lakers. Just hearing Skee's not running to the window, damn it. But something is going to give here tonight. I can't wait to see how it goes. I'm fairly certain this series lines up where it's a game every other day from this point. So the Lakers got the rest that they needed. And there's going to be a whole lot of basketball coming up here in this series, and I can't wait for it. But we do have to have a best bet here tonight somewhere in these two games. So start us off here, Skee. I have a feeling I know the game you're going towards. I also have a pretty good feeling on where you're going for a best bet. But throw something out at us here tonight, man. What do you like in this Warriors-Lakers game? Who do you like in this Warriors-Lakers game?
Yeah, the beauty of this series for me is, as far as betting goes, nobody can call me biased. They say these are my two favorite teams, right? So I can't be biased for either one in this one. I just think, what you said, Joe, about LeBron in game ones, that's fine. I don't even care. I mean, with that said, they won game one in Memphis, but this is a Lakers team that is not extremely dependent on LeBron. He can go corner, really, honestly, for all I care. It's a lot of guys who can contribute, put the ball in the basket, play make for others. Those guys would be D'Angelo Russell. He's been doing a job, and he's a spark as far as shooting it. Austin Reeves has been terrific. Rui is coming into his own, and he can score at any time, and is really versatile as far as defending as well. A lot of good pieces on this Lakers team now, so we're not dependent on LeBron. The team on the other side paying a hell of a lot on Stephen Curry. I don't know how much gas he has left in the tank after carrying them in that game 7. Give me the Lakers 1.5 points tonight.
Hey, listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. No, yeah, you're right about that. I mean, LeBron's MO has always been, I don't really care if we lose game one on the road. We got a lot of other things to do. Talk to me, Tony, Finn, a couple of games here. A lot of questions in the early game, but which one of these might you be leaning towards for a best bet for us?
Yeah, we're going to go to the Lakers and the Warriors at the late game of the two tonight. And I think Skee spilled it out pretty well. He laid it out. I mean, this is a LeBron James, Curry. It's going to be, despite the fact this is a second round, if you're sitting around at home or at your favorite watering hole watching this game, I think you'll feel like the hype is more like an NBA Finals, which these two faced each other off. I think, what was it, for 4 straight years, 2015 to 18, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And Curry, by the way, game one, 3-1 record against LeBron in those matchups. However, I think we can say that Curry's help around him was a little more stacked than it is on this team. That said, I like the under in this game, but I'm going to go quickly to Draymond Green. I like Green in his par, and his points, assists, and rebounds over 22.5. You got to lay a little bit of juice at minus 130, but I believe he's the guy that's going to show up, and I think he makes the difference, not Curry, not LeBron. He makes the difference. If he can put up 12 points, put up 10 rebounds, a double-double, this Warriors team will win it home and cover.
So just sort of thing, he going to be in this game long enough, though, right, in order to hit those numbers? Like, we ain't going to get no ET in his ass up and throwing him out. Just saying. Yeah. You never know with good old Draymond there. But I'm with you.
Would you agree?
I think they found something with him off the bench, making it extremely interesting here, because Steve Kerr made some decisions and some rotations there that were a little head-scratching. Vino, talk to me here, man. You going to look at the Laker game as well, or you going to throw something out the Knicks and the Heat tonight?
I'll go to the Knicks game, guys. I fully expect Jalen Brunson to play. I think Julius Randle might even play as well. But regardless, here's a team that played without Randle in game one. Here's a team that had 5 guards and wings shoot 3 of 23 from three-point land in game one. And yet they scored 101 points against this defense. The Miami defense is not the strength of this team anymore. Hasn't been for quite a while, the last 2.5 months. They recognize it. I, as a handicapper, recognize it. And I think if the Knicks can get to 101, with all the negatives that happened in that game one, then they can certainly get over 107 in a desperation game here. You get any of those 5 guys quickly, Hart, Brunson, any of them to shoot better from three-point land, and this thing's going to get up and over. I think if you get Randle in the game, it really gets over, because I think at that point, Eric Spoelstra has a decision to make defensively. So give me Knicks team total over 107.
I love Vino always coming out with those team totals. Love it here tonight at the Garden. Skee, shocker! Lakers +5, damn it, get it done. Hell, he's all right even if they lose, guys. But it is going to be a close game because LeBron don't care about game ones. Tony Finn, total shot clock violation on your description there, but that's all right. We got Draymond Green over 22.5 on that PRA here tonight. Don't hate it at all. While Rob Vino says, I'm not afraid of them Knicks. He'll take that team total over 107, and in all likelihood, that'll be good enough to win that game there, Rob, here tonight. But a lot of questions, a lot of plays available tonight from all three of these gentlemen over at WagerTalk.com. You can hit up Skee's page right now, Tony Finn, as well as Rob Vino. Guys, we're talking NBA, we're talking MLB. There is plenty going on here. And a quick show of hands, though. Skee, did you see Harden dropping those that 45 deuce last night and beating? Were you on that one?
Was I on it? No. Am I surprised? No. All I'll say for, the people were hitting me up because they know I talk a lot of crap about Harden. Just wait till game 5. That's game 1.
Yeah.
Wait till game 5.
So true. Oh, that is so true. But listen, Vino, your Sixers in your area, I mean, let's be realistic. That's what you got them for, right? I mean, isn't that the kind of game we all knew he was capable of? And now you won game 1. You did exactly what you needed to do.
Yeah, and for those who live in this area, Joe, where James Harden is concerned, that is the bulk of the bitching. We pay this guy all this money, and he doesn't score any points anymore. And when he was called upon to have to score points last night, he did. I mean, I succeeded. I had a play on his point total over 22.5. I just figured if ever there was a case where he had to turn into offensive James Harden, it would have been last night. It was. Maybe he can go back to playmaking James Harden once Embiid gets back into the lineup. But, last year, Joe, I think if I go back and look, I'm going to find a series where James Harden had one of these games and then was non-existent scoring-wise the rest of the way out. So I wouldn't get too carried away. But it's a big win for Philadelphia and a horrible loss for the Celtics. How do you shoot 85% in the first quarter and as good as they did in the first half and then lose a ball game? Their defense ought to be ashamed of themselves.
That was a bit head-scratching. Did you have the Sixers last night, Finn? Were you shocked with that?
No, I wasn't surprised at all. Are you kidding? It's Harden, and Embiid, and it's the Sixers, and it's Doc Rivers. Well, if you tell me when Doc Rivers is going to win, lose, coach well, coach poorly, say something. If you know those kind of things, but we'll get rich.
So
we'll
true.
get absolutely filthy rich. Never. But I had something you guys didn't cover, and I have a question. Is there a difference, Skee? Is there a difference, Joe, Rob? No shoot around for the Warriors. They're going to have to do no shoot arounds, no practices. They haven't for the last couple of days in preparation because Kerr knew they were going to win, right? And he was going to be facing the Lakers. They wanted to be rested. Make a difference? No shoot.
Not enough.
Thanks, Skee. What are you thinking?
Huh?
Better legs.
No, it's not going to make a difference for them to be rested enough to win the game. And also,
Right.
if I'm a Warriors backer, I don't want them to be preparing for this Lakers team. But I get it, because they had to go all out. They're just going to look at this game, and in my mind, that sounds like a fill-out process. And then they'll make adjustments after.
Yeah, and there's some head move. Rob, you think it makes a difference?
Well, I think, again, the reason why they had to do it is because they couldn't close that series out at home, right? They had a chance to win it in 6 at home. They got destroyed at home. So whether it helps or not, they have themselves to blame for the situation that they're put in. Maybe they have a little better legs here tonight. The one guy, that we didn't talk about at all in analysis here, guys, that does have the legs because he didn't play for so long is Andrew Wiggins. And maybe Wiggins is a guy who comes through in this series. He's been pretty consistent thus far. It's not the greatest of matchups for him from an offensive standpoint, but still, if you're looking to play player props, maybe Andrew Wiggins is a guy that comes through and starts to surface here in this series.
They're waiting. Golden State fans are waiting too. All the signs point that he starts feeling it here, Wiggins can be a difference maker, but it also may never happen. So I think that's the other side of that coin, is that we may be waiting for Wiggins to flip that switch and finally get in that groove, but it may not happen. Either way, I think it's going to be a great series, and I think both Miami and the Knicks and the Lakers and Golden State going to give us an opportunity to cash a few tickets here tonight. Shout out to Mr. James in the chat room, Mr. Martinez, Big Daddy in the house, Sean, catch you slipping, Star Child, all of you guys, Big Daddy, we appreciate you hanging with us here. Don't forget, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and hit that damn thumbs up over there. I mean, we buzzed Tony Finn for you on the shot clock, so the least you can do is hit the damn like button and make plans to come back and join us again tomorrow. Another round of games we're going to get ready for, and we've got you covered here on the NBA Tip-Off Show. Until then, on behalf of the OG crew, Tony Finn, Rob Vino, Skee Profit, we appreciate the time, guys. Cash them tickets tonight. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Good luck.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.